Welcome to Change, produced by the Senior Barn of Schaumburg, where nutritious meals, friendly peers, and social activities are available to everyone every day of the week. Under the able direction of Marina Lvovich, the cost and the location are available to all. We seniors meet monthly as a panel to discuss events that have occurred in the past, the near past, and the present, with a look towards the future. Today our program is on EM-MORIES, movies, music, movement, dance, and miscellaneous memories. I'd like to introduce our panel. We have Betty Sanders, who was born in St. Louis, Missouri, and has lived at Friendship Village in Schaumburg for 3 years. She is a native of the area. She has 3 children and how many children?
I have had 2 children. One of them passed away.
Okay.
But I have 3 granddaughters. Well, 2 granddaughters and a grandson. Okay. And I have 3 great-grands. They call me Gigi Ma.
Very good. She formerly was employed in radio broadcasting with her husband Bob on WBBM in Chicago. We have Mallory Bolter, was born in Chicago and lived in Schaumburg for 43 years. She has 1 child and formerly worked in an office for 30 years. And we have Mary Ferrassi, who was born on the northwest side of Chicago and has lived in Schaumburg for 48 years and has 4 children and was formerly a lunchroom mother. God bless you. Being a teacher for 47 years, we really appreciated your work. I am Lori Candle, and I was born in the Canarsie section of Brooklyn, New York, and I've lived in Schaumburg, for the area, for about 45 years now. And lest anyone forget, I have 2 children, 2 grandchildren, 4 grand dogs, and 1 grand horse. Okay, today we're going to be talking about memories, and whether they be pictures, events, songs, all form a woven tapestry that surrounds our life with the warmth of happiness. At times there may be a worn spot of sadness or distress, but on the whole we can say that memories complete the soul. Personal memories are held close to our heart and are frequently called upon for comfort, joy, or solace. We recall them as if they were actually happening. On the other hand, we may see, hear, or experience something that will trigger recognition of an event that has happened previously. In both cases, information stored in our memory bursts forth. Recalling information helps us compare, evaluate, save, or discard what has been remembered. We can recognize how things have changed, been improved, and even gain enlightenment for future achievements through understanding these changes. Do you remember the little flip books of the past? By flipping the pages rapidly, we had our own little movie. This very principle was and is the basis of today's modern movie. Animation thrived on this concept of drawing continuous pictures, albeit now done by a computer. Burst photography records millions of instantaneous individual shots, and it becomes a moving picture. And movies do incite many old and new memories. Music also is a cue factor for recalling events, especially with associated feelings. I'm sure you can remember being in a particular place when a certain song is played, or perhaps a memory of a particular person jets into view. Music has a therapeutic effect beside being a powerful connection to the past. Movement or dance is also closely related to memory. The various steps are mapped in the brain, and maybe years have passed, but when music is played, your brain controls your feet and you are off. It can also be a stress remover, an enjoyment factor, add to a healthy life, and is a memory age. George Foreman aptly put it this way: It's great to reminisce about good memories of my past. It was enjoyable when it was today. So learning to enjoy today has two benefits. It gives me happiness right now, and it becomes a good memory later. If I were to say to you right now, Toto, I've got a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore, what comes to mind?
The Wizard of Oz.
Right. How about this one? May the Force be with you.
Star Wars.
Isn't it amazing how these statements made 77 and 40 years ago pop into our mind almost immediately? Let's explore our own memories. What was the earliest thing you remember about the movies, and why do you remember it? You had mentioned something very interesting before the show to me. Could you tell us about it, Betty?
Well, when I was growing up, we went to the movies a lot. We didn't have television, so we went to the movies a lot, and movies changed about 2 to 3 times a week. And you didn't really know much about the movie. You knew the title, and that was it. And there weren't start and end times of the movies. They would just be running continuously. So you'd go to the movie, and you might come in the beginning of the movie, or you might come in the middle of the movie, and if that was the case, then you would stay until you saw it, because it would run again. And movies always had double features, and we usually had a cartoon and a newsreel. And you know, during the war, we saw the war on newsreel, and it was not instantaneous the way you see things happening today. But it was great fun, and our whole family enjoyed it. And one night a week, they had what they called bank night, and the merchants of the area would put together a bag of things, or a check of some sort, usually a small check, because this was way back in the 40s. And money was not as readily available. And so anyway, they would, between the movies, they'd raffle it off. And it was great fun.
Do you have any memories as early as that, or do you have anything else to add to that, Melody?
Well, I don't remember the 40s so much as I do the 60s.
Okay. You know what? We'll talk about that after we take a short break. Now, you were saying, Melody, about the 60s. Now, that's a little bit different than the 40s.
Yes.
How different?
Well, I don't remember much from the 40s, but the 60s, I was in high school, and I remember a lot about that. The movie that I can remember most of all is West Side Story. And it was, I must have seen that movie maybe 10, 12 times.
You can play in the cast, then.
Well, let's put it this way. We know most of the words to the music. It was just great. I liked the dance at that time, the style that they wore, just everything about it. And it reminded me of, you know, the two gangs. Well, in the 60s, there were, you know, two gangs, and it just brings back so many memories.
Well, people think the 60s is an exciting time to live. How about you, Mary? What's your earliest memories?
Well, we went to the theater a lot, too, every week. So I saw dozens of movies. Probably I liked Sound of Music, but that's older, when I got older. What's that one? Oh, Gone with the Wind?
Oh, that's my all-time favorite.
Yeah. Or Casablanca. Those were good movies today.
They're a little bit different today,
Yes, they
aren't they? And
Yeah.
today you go for one show. We used to go for a dime, to
Yes,
go to
yes.
the movie. Now, $10, you're getting a bargain. Do you recall any, well, you've mentioned like Gone with the Wind, any picture that has stayed in your memory and mind that is with you even now? Betty?
My all-time favorite movie is African Queen.
Okay.
And anytime I see it advertised to be shown on TV, I watch it. I love that movie.
Yeah, there's something about that. I remember seeing it myself. Humphrey Bogart?
Humphrey Bogart and Katharine Hepburn.
Right.
Yeah.
And
They were.
How about you, Melody?
Well, there is a movie that sticks out in my mind, and not for a lot of good reasons. The Exorcist. I mean, that was when I first saw that movie, I thought I was just going to die. It made no sense, but it had a lot of
Publicity.
yes. And I said, I can't believe I've never seen a movie like that in my life. It was just not a good movie to me.
Okay, right. Passed on into past tense. And you mentioned Gone with the Wind. Is that one of your favorites, or is there another one?
I used to like to watch the religious movies. One was Song of Bernadette. That was kind of sad. And I really don't have any favorite movie. Like I saw so many, I can't remember all of them.
Right, exactly. Now, have you ever seen a favorite movie or one that you really liked and then found out when you saw it a second time that you were disappointed? I know The Magnificent Obsession, and when I saw that, I thought it was just wonderful. And I saw it maybe about 5 years ago after 20 years hiatus. I was so disappointed. What did I like?
I think movie making has changed so much. And some of these old movies, like A Little Caesar, I mean, I thought, that was the thing at one point. And I saw it in the fairly recent past, and I'm thinking, what did they think was so great about this movie? Because I think it's the techniques that they use today. We've gotten more accustomed to the different camera angles and all of the special effects and everything.
Right.
So.
I remember Orson Welles was with his, what was it, the Rosebud one?
Oh, yeah.
That he used different camera effects that at first were kind of odd, but today it's accepted. Can you think of any movie that...
Well, I can't think of any particular movie, but the movies from back when to today, I mean, we never had animated movies like we do today. And that to me was something big. When it first came out, I thought, oh, this is really cool.
I think the first one was Snow White, if I think I remember correctly. Yeah.
Well, animation was more or less geared to cartoons in the past, and now that's not the case anymore. So.
And the ones that are made for children, I enjoy just as much. I mean, I think that's the way they're presenting them now.
Correct.
Is they're making it so you can bring your kids, and you don't sit. You can sit and watch the movie too and enjoy it.
You better believe it. Okay. Although this quote was written in 1882, it's still so true. The next best thing to enjoyment of a good time is the recollection of it. And I think seeing movies, and that was by James Lyndall Basford, and he died in 1915, but we can still say it's true. Now, music and movies go hand in hand, and we often recall the movie when we hear the music. Music is the core of emotions and feeling. Have any of you ever taken music lessons and had the same experience? No, you're saying no. You're saying
I have taken music lessons when I was in high school. I took accordion lessons.
Oh, me too. In fact, I just got a new accordion.
Did you really? Oh, And I did that for maybe 2.5, 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And if I picked up one today, I wouldn't be able to play it.
Come visit me. I thought I wouldn't. After 70 years, I was able to play a few things.
Really?
Nothing professional. I only took it a year.
Yeah.
Betty, how about you?
I took piano lessons.
with an accordion.
And I didn't enjoy it at all.
Oh, you didn't.
And I look at a sheet music today, and it's like I'm looking at Chinese because I can't read a note. So.
You know, if you put your mind to it, you probably could. You'd be surprised how much you do remember. Now, is there any song that brings back a very strong memory to you in any way at all?
Almost any of Glenn Miller's music. My husband was a great fan, and we both enjoyed Glenn Miller. So it's almost
In the Mood.
In the Mood, String of Pearls, you know,
Yes.
all of them. So it was good. Yes.
How about you, Melody?
Well, I liked one particular song, and I still like it to this day. It's Unchained Melody by
Yes.
the Righteous Brothers. I just, every time I hear that song, I can just lay back and listen to it over and over again. I never got tired of that song, and I was really upset when the Righteous Brothers, one of them, passed away. That was heartbreaking.
Well, they passed away, but their memory remains.
Yes.
And their music.
We'll be back in just after a short break. Not only music, words, and everything, but even groups that come back to memory. How about you, Mary? Can you?
I hadn't heard this song in ages. It's by Bobby Goldsboro, Honey.
Oh yes.
Very sad. His wife dies, and she goes to heaven. You don't remember it?
If she heard it, she
yes,
probably
I was
would.
gonna
Oh,
say.
it is sad.
Yeah, if I heard it, I probably would know it.
Otherwise, nothing.
No Italian songs. Oh, Sole Mio.
Are you
or
kidding? No.
Santa Lucia. Or,
When I go to Valleys and they're playing Italian music, I say, shut it off. I can't stand it. Don't want to hear it.
I loved it. But music is a moral lure, and it gives the soul to the universe. It wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and charm and gaiety to life and to everything else. And a very intelligent person said that, Plato. So he really knew what he was talking about.
I think we missed one genre of music, and that's classical music.
Yes.
My absolute favorite is Claire de Lune.
Beautiful.
And I'm going to put in a plug for WFMT radio because they play the most beautiful classical music all day long.
Definitely. That's on my little Pungan thing. Well, we're going to have a little beautiful something to go along with the classical music, and it's a little dessert, a special dessert to make for Mother's Day or any time of the year, and only 3 items are required: chocolate morsels, coconut oil, and strawberries. In the microwave, melt 1½ cups of chocolate morsels and 1 tablespoon of coconut oil in a large coffee mug for 1 minute until melted. Insert a skewer into the strawberry and dunk it into the melted chocolate, and place each coated strawberry on wax paper and place in the refrigerator for 15 minutes. I use large strawberries first, and then go to the smaller ones and place the coated strawberries on a round pretzel for appearance sake. And here we have our coated strawberries, and they are most delicious, and we'll all share them at the end. Okay, now we're going on to our third M, movement or dance. And we've explored our visual memories of movies and the audio memories of music. Now we're going to talk about the physical memories as applied to music. When I say Dick Clark, what's your reaction?
American Bandstand.
Ah, yes. Did American Bandstand have any effect on your growing up?
A lot.
In what way, Melody?
Well, on Saturdays, I know I used to get up and watch it. And then after that, Dick Clark, there was Soul Train. I mean, we danced our hearts out for like 3 hours on Saturday. It was so much fun because Dick Clark, you know, he played the latest music and everybody was into it at that time.
He was a teenager's dream.
Yes, he was.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great, great show. It was, anybody could watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody would remember a song or two when it was played. It was great.
Now, Betty, that was a little bit above your teenage years.
It was, yes, and it was more in my children's range, and they enjoyed it. And Dick Clark was quite a celebrity. I mean, he really was. And yeah, I enjoyed it, but it wasn't part of my growing up era.
Mm-hmm. He became your staying power as we watched him mature and go through various stages. How about you, Mary? Did you enjoy him or know him?
I liked him, yeah. That's why I still, to this day, like rock and roll.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah. That's movement. I mean, don't like slow dancing.
No. You want to get out there and really do
well,
it.
Elvis came along in the 50s.
Yes.
The Beatles, you know, and they've stayed with me.
Forever,
So,
yeah.
Elvis's music especially.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm. I think the 50s and the 60s music has had a great impact on all generations as we go along. Well, what was your favorite dance as a teenager? Now, it might not have been, you know, the rock and roll.
Mine
thing
was the jitterbug.
Oh, yes.
Jitterbug.
Swing
yeah,
dancing,
that was it,
yeah.
Swing dancing, yeah.
Well, mine was the hustle.
Oh,
That was one of the first line dances that came out, and we had so much fun with that. We went out at night, and there was this place they gave like lessons at night, or if you wanted to, you know, try and get up there and do it. I remember we were running into poles, we were running into walls, and you know, we'd be going one way, the line would be going the other way.
But you were having fun.
Oh, it was so much fun.
Mm-hmm. And how about you, Mary?
What?
What was your favorite dance?
I didn't dance much.
Okay.
And I still can't dance.
You like
But
a spectator.
I like rock and roll because you don't have to follow anybody.
Yeah.
And it could be a group of people dancing with you.
And all you do is get up there and
But I
move
can't do
and-
it anymore.
Yeah, well, yeah, and
But I
know.
like to watch other people do it. We got to do the hustle at the barn. Could you just see that?
We'll have to
No,
talk
I
to
couldn't.
Marina.
We'll have to tell you.
Okay, what is your favorite dance now?
Oh, I like the Texas two-step.
I don't do much dancing anymore, but I don't know. Dancing is fun. You can kind of, as Mary said, with rock and roll, you can get up and shake your booty if you choose or do whatever. With a group of people, you don't have to follow a partner. So,
That's right.
Yeah, so that's good.
Well, you know, it really is something. I don't dance much more, and I think when you lose a partner, you really lose interest because nobody else can do what they did. But I've always had the dream of coming down a circular staircase in a beautiful white gown and meet somebody at the bottom and just waltz around this marble hall. Dream, eh, what? Okay, the dance is over, the applause has subsided, but the joy and feeling will stay with you forever. Well, we have really shared our memories of M, and it has been most enjoyable. It's brought a lot back to me also. And I'd like to thank you ever so much for coming, and especially Betty for you stepping in at the last minute. God bless you all. God bless our country. And please come to the Bond. We open up all our programs with God Bless America, and we're served delicious meals also. So come visit us. God bless you all.